What's up, everybody? It's your boy AJ Tripp coming at you with a rapid reaction of the National Football League 2016-2017 season. It has finally come to an end. Unfortunately, at least the regular season. We have the postseason coming up this weekend, starting on Saturday. But I wanted to do my review of this season because sports is a part of my channel. So I think one of the things I need to react to are maybe like the mid seasons and the end of the season things and special things like that. I've done my my college football and thing a while ago, and I'm gonna do one on the national championship game. You know that's coming up. But so I thought I'll go ahead and I'll do my reaction to this season. Now, I thought this season was a very interesting one, as it started off with a bunch of talk about the ratings and how the ratings were low, and was it because of the election? And some people thought it was about bad football. Some thought it was because Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee. A lot of other NFL players were taking a knee, and the NFL didn't do anything about it, so they lost some of the players. And then there's also, just some of the other stuff that other people haven't liked about the NFL for a while now. But I think the biggest thing is that this was a pretty interesting season. We saw the resurgence of the Oakland Raiders. I thought that was great. Again, this always seems to happen where one Super Bowl team doesn't make it to the playoffs. This season, it was both Super Bowl teams from last year did not make the Super Bowl team. But by the way, that reminds me, my things I should go back and look and see what I wrote down. I don't know if I have it here. I don't think I do. But I should look and see what I wrote down for the things that I can bet you they were garbage. Especially when it came to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I had the Jaguars doing everything this year, and they just sucked big ass. I mean, just sucked the big ass all season. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I probably threw it away because just because of that. But let me tell you, I had like Jacksonville making the playoffs, and I had like Blake Bortles and something like winning the offensive player of the year or something like that. All of it was garbage. It was trash. And it's just, damn it, Jaguars sucked. I had the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. They didn't even make the playoffs. So that was just garbage as well. So let's see. Like I said, we saw a resurgence in the Raiders. We saw my Bears were god awful. We saw a team, thinking that they were going to get it all, and then lose their quarterback at a practice, trade picks to get another team's quarterback, have that team who traded their quarterback play their rookie quarterback, and for a while both teams looked like they were going to meet in the NFC Championship game. Obviously, I'm talking about Sam Bradford and the Minnesota Vikings, Carson Wentz, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles fell off, and so did the Vikings, actually. Both teams fell off, did not make the playoffs, but Minnesota, they had trouble with the offensive line. If they can get the offensive line fixed and a healthy Adrian Peterson, I'm going to... I have to wait and see what goes on in the whole season. But right now, Minnesota would be my pick coming out of the NFC next year. And talking about resurgence, that's why I lost train of thought and went all over the place. But when I was talking about resurgence in the Raiders, another team resurged was the Dallas Cowboys. With their quarterback, with their running back, Tony Romo goes down. I have to admit, I think if Tony Romo doesn't go down, this doesn't happen. I like Tony Romo. I think he's a great quarterback. He's as everybody like to say, he's like in that second tier where he's not part of the elite crowd, but he's not in that third tier where he's like he's borderline suck. Where he doesn't like that, but he does. He's toward that end of the second tier where he does make some. Him and Eli and all these guys, they do that stuff. So, but yeah. Well, here's what's going on right now. So, the playoffs are set, right? And we have some rematches from the season with Houston benching their quarterback, putting in a backup quarterback, and the backup quarterback, Tom Savage, now has a concussion, so they might have to go back to the guy that they benched. Taking on the Raiders, whose MVP candidate, Derek Carr, has a leg injury, broken fibula, and then backup quarterback got hurt today, and they had to play. Now they have to start a rookie Connor Cook in their place. So gonna be some bad football, I think, in that game. Tony Dungy on NBC, he just said, I'm gonna pick Houston to win 2-0. No, I tell you something, I can see that. And then we got over in the Eastern Conference, we got Detroit, got to go to Seattle. You got Green Bay hosting the Giants. It's gonna be some really really special things, I think, going on in the playoffs. The regular season, I think just Ezekiel Elliott, excuse me, just he was just so good, and I think. Let's get out the way. He's got a great offensive line. There's no doubt. But I think he's an awesome player as well. So I think it goes both hand in hand. Sure, maybe a better running back would have broken the record. Maybe if Adrian Peterson was healthy behind that line, he would have 2,500 yards. But Ezekiel Elliott was fantastic, and he's obviously, I think, going to be the rookie of the year. I think that's no question. I think Atlanta Falcons, with what they did and the way that Matt Ryan played, I think Matt Ryan probably should win the MVP. Becoming the 2 seed, in the NFC. And then we got to go to New England. Now, listen, I'll be putting all my cards on the table. I'm a little biased when it comes to Tom Brady, right? Because here's my thing, and I did a video. You can go back and look. I did a video, Brian Urlacher versus Ray Lewis. I did a video several years back, and I did it because I felt like Brian Urlacher was not getting the respect he deserves. He's the greatest middle linebacker of this era. And just because Ray Lewis snaps and dances and picks up grass and is all excited and all that stuff, doesn't make him better than Brian Urlacher. If you use your eyes and you watched, Brian Urlacher did things on that field never been done by middle linebacker. Point blank period in the discussion. And I kind of feel that way when it comes to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Right? Tom Brady's got 4 rings. He's Tom Brady, good looking and everything like that. Whatever, right? Peyton Manning has Tom Brady became elite in 2007 when they had the perfect season. That's when he became elite. Peyton Manning was elite from the day Um, he stepped on the football field in the 1999 season. He had his rookie year in '98 threw the most interceptions for a rookie quarterback, and I think that record might still stand. But when he stepped on the field from 1999, he was an elite quarterback, and he was an elite quarterback until he walked off that field in 2014 in the playoff game against Indianapolis. And then, of course, 2015 he became what he was, game is basically. But he was elite for years. Tom Brady hasn't been elite since 2007, for 10 years. Excuse me. And the things that Peyton Manning has done with his game, on the field, it's mind-boggling that anybody else would think he's not the greatest quarterback of all time. But you want to, these folks out here, you got 4 rings. He's the greatest of all. Peyton Manning has 2. He's the greatest of all time. No, that's bullshit. So I'm biased against Tom Brady. I don't want Tom Brady getting to another Super Bowl. I don't want him winning another Super Bowl just to keep having people. It's kind of like the LeBron James thing. I don't want LeBron or Kobe. That's not LeBron James because that's not happening. It was more like Kobe Bryant. I didn't want Kobe Bryant to get 6 rings so like people would just have to say, well, he's the greatest of all time. He made the 6, and he's there with Michael. First off, Bill Russell's got 13 rings. Right? That's number 1. But guess what? Everybody and their mama know that Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time. Why? Because we can see with our eyes. And that's what we can see with our eyes about Peyton Manning. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. Point blank period, end of discussion. So I am not rooting for Tom Brady, to do nothing. It's like Alabama. I'm not rooting for Alabama. I'm not rooting for Tom Brady. But I'm going to give the devil his due. When you miss the first 4 games of a suspension and you come back and you win and you throw 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, there's no doubt. Hey, guess what? Tom Brady, you're a solid number 2. You're the second greatest quarterback of all time. I bow down to you. That's without question. So you got to give him credit. But I'm not rooting for them to win. I don't want them. No, don't want them to go nowhere. Who I am rooting for, the Detroit Lions. Now, why am I rooting for the Detroit Lions? Think I would hate them? I'm in Chicago. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan. Sweetness right here. So I would they would hate Detroit. But Cleveland broke their curse. The Cavaliers. My Cubbies broke their curse this past October. Why not Detroit breaking their curse? And if you guys, if you out there you don't know, there is a kind of a quote-unquote curse for Detroit Lions. It's the curse of Bobby Lane. They had a quarterback back in the 60s named Bobby Lane who led him to 3 championships in 5 years. But then Detroit traded him to Pittsburgh. And a little fun fact out there. When they traded him to Pittsburgh then let go of Johnny Unitas, who went to Indianapolis. Fun fact. Anyway, so when Bobby Lane was traded, he quote unquote cursed the Lions, saying he would never ever win a championship again. So I am rooting for Detroit. I want Detroit to break their quote unquote curse, win the championship. That's who I will be rooting for this on this playoffs, and so that's who I go for as well. So I think that's a bit. I went all over the place. Got cut off on a couple of rants there. I apologize for that. But yeah. So I think I pretty much recapped it pretty is. I think as other things go, any other things, quick things I'm trying to think of right now. I think that I mentioned about when they talk about the ratings. I mentioned about Colin Kaepernick. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him because I wonder if San Francisco will release him, and 2, if they do release him, who will pick him up? Because I doubt any team will pick. It's one thing to have him already on the team, and he was gonna be the second or he was one of the three best quarterbacks they could find to play. But if he's still gonna be kneeling, I I doubt there will be a team that will hire him if he gets released. And in all honesty, I hope there isn't. I hope there isn't. It's just my personal opinion. I understand the whole thing. I still think it's totally disrespectful. To people who have died for this country, and I got a bunch of military people in my family. So, just anyway, but I think, is there any other things I'm missing that I should talk about when it comes to the National Football League? Well, I think there was a lot of injuries this year. I think that was one thing. That's something that needs to go down. And I really think something else that needs to happen is we got to get rid of this damn field turf. We really do. If you don't have a dome, if you don't have a dome stadium, don't use field turf. Buffalo. You saw what happened when it snowed and tried to get the snow off the field. All them damn pellets came up. Take out that field turf and put in natural grass. That's what football is meant to be played on. So we got to get rid of this field turf. Something happened today that I think is now the news since the All-Star game for Major League Baseball would not determine home field advantage. We have a new dumbest rule in sports. It's when you score a touchdown at the end of the game and the extra point doesn't matter, but they still have to kick it. It's dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. You need to get rid of that rule now. So I kind of think that's it. If I'm missing anything, post down in the comments. What did you think about this NFL? Oh, you know what? Yeah, post it down in the comments. And I think one of the things you should talk about down in the comments is Thursday night football. Do you like it? Do you think it waters down the product? Do you think it hurts? The health of the players. I think it really. I think it does a little bit. And what do you feel about the theory that was brought up by Mike Tirico here locally on the Waldo and Sylvie show? That you can't that if you're gonna do Thursday night football, then you gotta have a bye week beforehand for those two teams. And I might have to do some things where maybe like you wouldn't start it on the second week. The second week wouldn't have a Thursday night game because that would be two of the teams' bye weeks. So you know what I'm saying? So second week, maybe week 2 and week 17 wouldn't have a Thursday night game, but the other weeks would have a Thursday night game. And with that, Thursday night with that theory, right? Having the bye week before the Thursday night game, it wouldn't have to be so the way it is right now. Because the way it is right now, because back in the day, that's they just try to put on the best matchup they thought it was for Thursday night. But I believe it was actually 2009. It was after the 2009 season, Thanksgiving night. Arizona had to fly all the way to the East Coast to play Philadelphia, and they got destroyed on Thursday. They got destroyed. And so I think ever since that that season, what they decided was that the games were going to be like around more closer, so that teams wouldn't have to fly halfway across the country, so that you wouldn't see Baltimore to fly all the way across the country to face San Diego. It would be Baltimore and Washington, or very obviously very close. Baltimore this year was Baltimore and Cleveland divisional matchup. I think the biggest flight difference might have been Dallas to Minnesota. But that's flying north, and not all the way across the country. But it may have still been pretty tough for the Cowboys. So, but yeah. So again, what do you think about that? What do you think about this National Football League season of 2016-2017. What did you think about it? Tell me, give me your thoughts. Post them down below in the comment section. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Share it with everybody. And make sure you subscribe. Not only here on A2020, but over on A2020 Gaming as well. Thank you guys in advance for doing that. So now, really quick, let me talk about what's going on with my two channels, really quick. Just if you're interested. So I want to get these two things growing and everything like that. Become a certifiable YouTuber and kind of do this, for a living for the most part, or have this turn into something that I want to do for a living. You know what I'm saying? So by doing that, I think one thing I need to do is I need to be more consistent with both. So I definitely think that starting this week, and actually, I guess you could say starting tonight, there's gonna be at least one video done here on A2020, and there's gonna be one live stream done on my gaming channel, and there's gonna be every week. So it's not gonna be as of right now. There's not gonna be specific days, that you can see. Click on the bell, and it will notify you when I upload something. Because and I might do multiples a week because things might happen. I mean, something might happen this week that's so shocking that I need to come and I need to do a rapid reaction, or I need to do a top 10, or I need to do a top 10 list about something. Of course, live stream as well. And I use this week as an example. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably not gonna be like this week. Like I said, I'm gonna do next week. I'm gonna do the national championship game. If something does happen this week, of course, I will do a rapid reaction to it. But I think what is really going to get started is going to get started the week of the 15th of January. Starting that Sunday that week is definitely gonna happen, where you're gonna get one video here, and you're gonna get at least one video here, and at least one live stream on A2020 Gaming. All right, folks. So I hope you guys will come along this journey with me. I'm gonna try to make this fun, entertaining, knowledgeable as well. And I'm gonna try to definitely keep up with all the comments that you guys will post. I appreciate that every time you do so. So for your boy AJ Trip, I'm signing off, and definitely I want y'all to be good to each other, and I will see you guys when I see you.